Yeah, so we're in this territory, dukkha, anatta, and the three characteristics. I want to say something about the relationship between dukkha or dissatisfaction and impermanence. Yeah, two of the big three, and how they tumble together and create trouble for ourselves. Yeah? Mm. I was struck by a long time ago reading a little research project that was done. They kind of wired up kids from I mostly from Japan. I think it was Japan, and kids from Western nations, and they had them look into an aquarium of all things, and notice what their eyes were following, what they were focusing on when they looked into the aquarium. I found that kids from Western North America would focus on the moving bits, the fishes, the details, mostly the fishes swimming around the aquarium. And kids from Japan focused on the background, more like the soft gaze that Susan talks about all the time, like settling back. But we in the West, in the details, focusing on the details, the objects moving, the moving objects. And in and of itself, that's just kind of a curiosity. The thing is, it also speaks to, I think, some of the issues that haunt us in meditation. Well, in our lives, we're kind of pickers and choosers, zooming in, and because that's a very close cousin to, I like this, I don't like that. I want that to change. I want that to go away. Oh, that's bothering me. Oh, I wish that sound would stop. I wish stuff out here would stop. And when we close our eyes, I wish stuff in here would stop. I want this to go away. It's almost okay. I need to rearrange. There's a tremendous amount of rearranging that goes on in our meditation practice. Yeah. Tremendous amount of choosing. There's a wonderful quote by the sixth Zen patriarch, the way is not difficult for they who have no preferences. Yeah. I'm sure that's true. We have so many preferences. Yeah. And it's not so much that we shouldn't have preferences, as to begin to notice how many preferences we have and how that's working for us. This business about liking and not liking, choosing and not, choosing this and not choosing that. Yeah. Very seldom, which is why I love that Susan reminds us so often about soft gaze, settling back, soft gaze, because we're so in there wanting to rearrange. I'll do soft gaze at some point, but not now. First, I have to get rid of that. That's a little bit, and you've heard us give the metaphor. I love the metaphor. It helps me. We we offer metaphors that help us in our own meditation. And one of them is the snorkeling one that you've heard me suggest. For those of you who've snorkeled, is that sense of going down beneath the water, and it's this wonderful world. You could say the same thing if we look into a telescope under the night sky, a microscope. The first time when you were a kid, you looked, and seeing the spaciousness of what's going on there, the wonder of what's going on in there, and not so quickly rushing to fix it. I don't know about you. I don't look up at the night sky and go, yeah, no. It'd be better if, well, first of all, it'd be better if the moon didn't arise. I like it when the moon doesn't arise so much, or I like it when the moon does arise, or I like it when it's a sliver, and I like that the best. Or the stars, We just don't do feng shui with the sky. And we just don't do feng shui when we snorkel. I laugh every time I snorkel. I don't snorkel that often, but oh, why don't I get this with the mind? I don't go, I don't try to orchestrate it. Oh, you fish, the timing is, I didn't call you in yet. It was just right here, and then you came in, and do you know what I mean? Is it obvious? We don't walk into a forest and go, oh, those birches should be over there. But it's poignant and it's obvious, but that's exactly what we do with our own minds. This cluster of thoughts shouldn't be here, certainly not now. It's the kind of the total rearranging mentality. Yeah. And the way that dovetails with impermanence, of course, is that the more we see impermanence, we also don't like to look too much into impermanence, Otherwise, the following would be, it would become really obvious that our rearranging is flawed, because no matter what we do in there, it's all changing all the time. And so the poignancy of trying to replace this with that, when both this and that are floating in the sea of impermanence, stops making sense. Yeah. Even if we thought we could arrange things just so, it's all a sandcastle all the time. It's all moving parts all of the time. And so it's not that we should stop doing that. It's about doing it with a much lighter touch. I would rather this be here than that. Okay. But that's not going to stay around either. The taste of that chocolate is not going to stay around, no matter how much I savor it, which is why, again, soft gaze and light touch are two very simple two-word mantras, which will remind us of how often we're neither doing a soft gaze nor a light touch. There are two directions for our practice: soft gaze, light touch. Easy does it is another one. That's 3 words. Easy. Not getting all in there, and orchestrating something that really can't be orchestrated. It's really so poignant. And we have so much to learn there about just backing off a little bit and welcoming more and more and more. This is all part of what it means to be human. Letting down the guardrails a little bit more, accepting more. This is our humanity. It's all part of the aquarium. It's all part of the ecosystem. And so we use these metaphors again and again until they become more internalized, and these mantras, until we really start to, more, take our hands off the wheel, stop steering so much. It's not about steering it more until we get it right. It's about steering it less, and seeing it, yep, those fishes are swimming by right now. Hello, fishes. Hello, thoughts. Oh, even the dark thought. Well, there are barracudas in there too, and sharks there in the ecosystem. I don't have to cringe. Yeah. So, soft gaze and light touch.